Hello, I'm Coercer, and we will be watching the games from Artifact Cup number 26. Now, I don't have the full replay pack yet, so we will begin with the replays I do have, the games that I played in the cup. So let's just jump right into it. Now, the first game that I played was against Harambe on Dune C. This is a 4-player map. It's a new map in the rotation for the Artifact Cups. I believe it started with Artifact Cup number 25. So there's a bit more variety in the map setups and how the games play. Now, since this is a 4-player map, the resources are a bit different. We will be watching this from Harambe's viewpoint. He's playing as the Kanef, and let's reveal all. Let's look at production. And up north, it's me as the Galcian. Now, interesting thing about 4-player maps is that there are 2 starting resource positions. So if you capitalize on that and just go straight for the second main point, basically this is where the other player would spawn in a 4-player game. You can boost your resources quite considerably, and you don't even need to break up a bulkhead. So both players are expanding, building salvagers as they go. Now, Harambe, I believe, has not produced anything from his production cruiser yet, which will put him behind, as I am producing constantly from the production cruiser and the carrier. I'm just pumping out salvagers to get as much of as a economic boost as I can. Harambe has sent out his base runner. He's going for the artifact that's furthest from him and closest to me, which is a good idea. I mean, he can just nab it and run to his extraction zone. It is the closest artifact to his extraction zone, but it's also risky because I could intercept it. Now, since Harambe is playing as the Kanef, he can produce. Where is it? There you go. He can produce blast drones from his base runner and pretty much wreck my economy if he gets 2, or in this case probably 4 blast drones into both of my resource lines. He could blow up all of my salvagers if I don't see it coming in time. Now, Harambe has skimmer tech. He is still producing salvagers while I am constructing another production cruiser. He has taken the first artifact to much no position for me, as I'm just trying to scout with my skimmers. I'm a bit nervous about any kind of blast drone, so I'm sending this skimmer into this area over here, just so I have some warning if blast drones are incoming. This skimmer is going to just scout a bit and see how he's doing with his resourcing. But it seems to be a pretty tame game so far. Harambe is launching a missile. He saw the skimmer, but that missile was a bit too late. I'm constructing more skimmers, and Harambe has secured his first artifact. Now he's sending the base runner to the second artifact position in the middle of the map. He is trying to get an artifact advantage, and Kanef carriers can be very dangerous when they have a lot of artifact power. Harambe has 2 production cruisers out, same as me, and let's see what he's up to. Oh, he has researched railgun technology in the meantime, and it appears that he is going for a double production cruiser railgun build. His base runner has a blast drone out, and my skimmers are going to run into that unpleasantness quite soon. The blast drone and the skimmer dance for a couple of seconds, and the blast drone takes out my skimmer, which is a good trade in the end. Harambe has a assault railgun. I have started my assault railgun and heavy railgun production. Now I'm counting on the fact that there won't be too much early aggression, but I make a huge mistake here where the blast drone takes out my assault railgun. That was a pretty big loss for me. Harambe has 4 assault railguns out. The skimmer sees them, and I immediately pull back my forces as I have a assault railgun and a heavy railgun, and I'm vastly outnumbered at the moment. Now, since I already saw assault railguns from Harambe, I immediately queue up another heavy railgun, so in hoping that I'll be able to pick off the assault railguns before they get into range and maybe scare him off, so he doesn't just pile drive into my resourcing. He now has 7 assault railguns, and it appears he is supply blocked, so he's researching fleet capacity 65, and I guess I got lucky there, so that he couldn't just produce way more assault railguns or heavy railguns. Harambe is now moving in with his forces. These assault railguns are acting as scouts, providing some vision, as well as the scanner here. Trying to position my heavy railguns so they don't get annihilated as soon as they're visible. And Harambe is producing heavy railguns as well, so he won't be outranged in this engagement. Now at this point I am pretty sure I can't win a rail war. The first heavy railgun from Harambe is taking pot shots at my assault railgun, so I have to put them back. And in the meantime I'm building skimmers, hoping that I will be able to get a group of skimmers on top of these assault railguns. And the engagement now starts. The assault railguns focusing down my resourcing, the 2 heavy railguns on the hill providing good fire cover, fire support. The assault railguns are now moving in on the heavy rails to take them out first. The skimmers are engaging the assault railguns, and I got pretty lucky here, since his forces were split up and I could take out the assault railguns and heavy railguns quite handily. Harambe is now pulling back his production cruisers. Let's see what tech he has. He has researched missile ship technology, but he is not producing anything at the moment. I'm pretty much chasing down his production cruisers, since I know if he did the production cruiser assault rail build, these are the production cruisers I need to take out, and he will have to rebuild them. Harambe has constructed a blast drone from his base runner, and if they hit my grouped up sand skimmers, that'll be a huge win for him. I see the blast drone, and I move in a sand skimmer to try and distract it. It seems to have worked a bit. Now I lost sight of the second production cruiser. Harambe is trying to save it so it doesn't die to the same thing. This one sand skimmer staying on top of the blast drone to make sure it doesn't blow up my whole blob of sand skimmers. There we go. Blast drone is down. I'm pretty confident that I can take out the production cruiser, so I send in the sand skimmers. to take it out. In the meantime, Harambe is trying to capture another artifact, and I'm moving in my heavy railgun force to take care of that. And just as I remembered that he could build more blast drones, I feel kind of dumb for doing this. With heavy railguns and assault railguns, he could potentially take out a lot of them with a single blast drone. Like, get lucky, all the railgun shots land, the blast drone gets taken out immediately, and the base runner explodes. Now, sensing that Harambe is on the back foot, I'm just moving in with all of my forces. Harambe is going for siege cruisers. He has started the research a while ago. He's rebuilding his production cruiser, since he now only has his carrier to produce units with. I'm being very cautious, sending in just one sand skimmer to see what's going on. I don't want to lose all of my forces to missiles from the Knaf carrier. I see that he has another production cruiser up, and since there are no other units visible, I decided this is the best time to go in and attack Harambe's base. Once again, the assault railguns are in front to scout for the heavy railguns. I have managed to capture an artifact in the meantime, and my carrier is moving out into the middle of the map to provide support. Starting my assault, Harambe is launching missiles from his carrier. For now, I managed to avoid getting hit. Let's see, Harambe misses that one again. Now the sand skimmers come in from the side to provide some distraction, and all of my heavy railguns are focused on Harambe's carrier. This is a quick kill after an opening that could have crippled me quite extensively. Now, I honestly don't quite know how I managed to hold that well, but I guess Harambe should have tried to kite all my forces back towards his production cruisers, or maybe use his production cruisers to tank and scout for the remaining railguns. I was honestly very surprised that I was able to hold that as well as I did. So yes, that's game 1 between me and Harambe. Let's move on to game 2.